Hi guys! Today is finally the day I am going to share with you my supplies for the next Creating with Collection series. I mentioned it in a couple previous videos that I was going to be working with the Simple Stories Hip Hop Hooray Easter line. I personally find it easier, more motivating, just all around able to kind of stick with it better if I'm using a manufacturer that I like and I come up with some sort of a game plan as far as my photos. The previous series I worked through are family photos, and then I kind of moved on and cherry picked some different things based on what I had left of my kit. For this one, with it being a themed kit, I am going to stay pretty close to theme. So what I ended up doing was I went through my photos and I just kind of went in reverse order, went through everything, figured out what I had photos for. Some of these years I do need to go pull photos off some other stuff, but I basically just made a quick thing as far as what types of photos did I have. Some years are going to be more than one or two layouts just because we had like mom playgroup type party things, couple outings that were Easter themed, stuff like that. So I went through and kind of made myself a list, and then I need to go back and do a couple years, but I did go through and Google what the date was for April so that when I'm dating my layouts, I don't have to look it up every time. So I wrote down what day Easter fell on every year, and it's pretty much all across the board, which explains why I can't ever remember in my mind when Easter falls because it changes. So anyways, today I wanted to go through and just share with you the stuff that I bought to do this, and then the supplies that I pulled from my room, mostly things like tools and sketches to go with it. So I think we're gonna start here. Okay, so like I said, I picked a collection. Because it's themed, I know that I'm going to be working through Easter photos and Easter type memories and pages and things like that. Then I went through and kind of came up with a plan for sketches. And if you guys have watched me for any amount of time, you know that I love the sketches that Scrapbook Generation not only makes, but they tend to just work with my brain a little bit better. I've tried to use page map sketches. I've tried to use all kinds of different ones from Pinterest. For whatever reason, my brain just functions better with this specific style of sketch or doing my own thing. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as that. And this, again, is a way for me to be successful in this type of challenge that I'm kind of issuing myself. So knowing that it's a spring and Easter collection and it's from Simple Stories, that kind of narrowed down my choices. I pulled Sketch Fusion, which basically these are all sketches that are geared towards Simple Stories collections, primarily based off of the cut aparts that they give you. So just kind of some of the samples that are in here. I also pulled Sketch Magic, which is again another one that is, this one I think is more specific to their quote-unquote Disney lines, but again it's the Simple Stories theme of how they do their papers. And if you have shopped Simple Stories, you know that there's going to be 3x4 cards, there's going to be 4x6 cards. The newer ones are going to have the 2x2s, the 4x4s, that kind of thing. So this to me is just easier to look at sketches that are geared towards a specific manufacturer in this case. I also purchased, this is a bundle where you get 5 single page sketches and 5 double page sketches, and these are all spring themed. Again, these are all paid for content, so I'm not going to like go through and show the actual sketch because it is on their site. I will link in the description box below all of this stuff if it's still available, especially their sketches, in case you guys want to go look at them. I think most, if not all of their sketches, you can get the like e-version and print it yourself at home. These ones I think I bought during like a sale or a promotion or whatever, so I just ended up getting the hard copy one. But normally I will get the e-version because then I can back it up on my drive and I can print it out. I can pull it up on my phone when I'm at a crop. Like, that just tends to work better. So again, setting myself up with specific steps that are going to work for me. If you were trying to do something like this, You don't need to use these kind of sketches because that's what I use. If you are somebody that relies on sketches, then go to a sketch designer that you absolutely love, one that works for your brain. If you're somebody that works better just kind of winging it and doing your own thing, then do your own thing. Like, that's what's going to make you successful in trying to work through a collection, is to sort of almost self-diagnose your process and figure out what are things that make your process easier, I guess. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do just like a quick look through of the papers. I did not open this packaging, so we'll all just cringe together. Now, normally I would go ahead and I would toss this. I'm keeping it while I do these videos for reference as far as like what I started with and what came in it. This one, I did not get the, what do they call it, Collector's Essential Kit. I bought this at a local crop. So I bought this, the die cuts, and the chipboard all as individual pieces, whereas the Collector's Essential Kit comes with those. So I am starting out with 12 sheets of double-sided paper, which 4 of them are cut-aparts, and a sheet of stickers. And the stickers are 102 stickers. So that's kind of good to know for later down the road. So just going to go through real quickly. I'm not going to describe the papers. You guys have eyeballs. You guys can see what they look like. If you guys are watching this video, you obviously have access to the internet. You can go look this up. Again, I'll post a link below. I'll see if Scrapbook Generation or Scrapbook.com, whichever one I can find probably all the pieces on, I'll go ahead and link to. But cute little bunnies. This is one of those things where normally I would buy multiple sheets of because I love wood grain. And then when there's a cute pattern on the back, it does make it a little bit difficult to sort of pull the trigger and make a decision. So now we're getting into the cut-aparts where we've got all the 2x2 squares, which these ended up being some of my favorite things to use on the last one, the 3x4s. And I'm so far liking the fact that there's only cut-aparts on one side. I don't have to make a choice between cut-aparts. I don't have to use a cut-apart. There is a pattern on the back, which is really nice to see. 4x4s, pretty stripe. And then the 4x6 and 6x4s. And I have already started printing photos for my first layout, which is going to be using this cute little bunny. Okay, here is the sticker sheet. Right off the bat, I'm already wondering, anytime I see a bike in a collection, I'm just kind of like, ugh. I know bikes symbolize spring for a lot of people, but for me, I would rather not have the bike, and I would rather have more of these like little elements that are just straight up easier to use on a layout. But these are kind of where I love to go sort of shopping from first. Okay, so that's the paper and the stickers. Then this is just some tray I picked up at IKEA. I don't know the name of it. It might be on the bottom because I probably didn't take the sticker off. Qgis? Kuggis? That's what it's called. Okay, so I got the chipboard, which I think I'm going to kick myself because I think I already threw it away. So I don't know how many pieces we started with. But the chipboard I spread out and kind of sorted into things that were more like titles and just kind of florals and things that sort of went together. Then I did the same thing like I did last time. I picked up the ephemera bits and pieces. Why are they called the same thing? Oh, this one is the bits and pieces. This one is the journal bits and pieces. So, and I do tend to get both of them because a lot of times if I were to make a combination of these two that would work for me, I would have to buy the two. because I like things like the plain labels, the circles, these little tiny elements, the date things, stuff like that. And then I like some of the smaller elements in here. So I just buy both, see how many I can use, and kind of go from there. Now, this time, instead of dumping them all into a bin and having to dig through that bin constantly, I am gonna steal from my friend Heather Balzer and use her thing that she does when she does like her doodlebug collections, is she will put her die cuts on like a big piece of cardstock. But because I knew I was going to keep this tray out, I cut cardstock, you know, down into 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and just took some repositionable adhesive and went through and just attached the die cuts on here. I did try to group things that kind of made sense or were similar things, whether it was a phrase or a title, or it was floral or bugs or labels or phrases. And again, this was something I did while I was just kind of on a video chat talking to some friends, and just kind of got myself set up for as much success as possible. There was a couple really big pieces from the journaling set that I chose not to go ahead and take a real estate on that. These are so big that I'll be able to find them, and these are actually big enough that if I want to, I can run it through my printer and do my journaling on there. So I would rather it not have adhesive on it at this point. So that covers all the stuff, the Simple Stories stuff. Now from then, I just went through really quickly and grabbed dies, couple stamp sets, couple alphabets, anything. I don't necessarily have like a set plan for it, but it was basics, Easter themed, or as far as like letters, things that match the colors. So some of these will be repeats that you saw in the family collection that I did. So we're just going to go through this mess of stuff that I have here. My uber favorite lawn fawn hearts are coming back. The Polaroid frames from My Favorite Things. The notebook die from My Favorite Things. The square stacks from My Favorite Things. I've got a label set from Carrie Bradford called Label Maker. And then I don't remember whose these are, and I didn't label them. This I threw in there because I do like making my own sort of phrase stickers if one doesn't work or it's a different color. These I got recently and I still haven't used, but I thought this would be good for scraps to be able to cut tags to tuck behind things and my own thing. Move this stuff over. Okay, a couple more stamp sets that I have is Defined from Carrie Bradford and Side by Side from Carrie Bradford. Basically things to be able to date, just little phrases, again, just small things to be able to kind of add a little bit of color, add a little bit of interest, especially to the cut aparts. I like stamping on those just to kind of make them my own in a sense. I also have two, these are Spellbinders dies of the month. So this is the large die of the month and the small die of the month, and it just happened to be that I was doing this around the same time that I got these. So I thought these would be good to kind of add in, especially with it being Easter layouts. And again, I'm just kind of challenging myself to not only work through a collection, but to also use tools and supplies, things like stamps and dies and punches that are in my stash that maybe I haven't used yet. And by putting it in here and sort of having it accessible to me, I'm hoping that it'll help me use it. I pulled out a bunch of different alphabet dies. I know for a fact that these two are My Favorite Things. These two I don't remember. I think I don't even know where I got those from. So capital, lowercase, basically just to kind of make my own letters out of some of the pattern paper to kind of help use that up a little bit better. I've got a grassy border, a stitched sun, some cute clouds. Again, just kind of spring themed things. A leaf cluster. This is really cute. It's just like a little, you can cut out all the letters and you make one of those like letter boards where you can make a message. I just grabbed it because I thought, you know what, it's cute. Polaroid with a film reel and a photo strip. Some more leaf clusters, some tiny tags. Again, I thought these would be cute when I get down to smaller ones. This is more for if I want to make my own letters and I'm going to use cardstock or plain paper and I want it to have a pattern. I can make my own pattern. We'll see if I actually get that far. And then Lawn Fawn Big Scripty Words, mostly because there's some little birds down here, and I thought one of the words, I don't remember why I grabbed this. It might just be for the birds. I don't know. Apparently I wasn't paying much attention when I pulled those. And then I was cleaning up my room. So as I was cleaning up my room, I was throwing stuff in here. I've got some doilies. These are good, just kind of basics. And then I have a bunch of these pink fresh alphabets that again I was putting away. And most of these colors go with this line. So I'm just going to leave them out. I'm going to put them in here and I'm going to try to kind of get myself to use them. And then I do have some stuff here from the previous one, things that I was using. So these are just kind of sitting in my bucket up here to remember to use them. So that is sort of my game plan. I'm going to keep this out on my desk and kind of keep going through it. I think my plan is going to basically be to mimic the other series where after I get maybe 3 or 4 layouts done, I'll do a layout share. We'll go back through what I have left of my supplies, how much I've used up, and we'll do another run of it. And after I've done 3 or 4 layouts, I'll do another layout share and just kind of keep resetting my kit in a sense and resetting my game plan. And yeah, take you guys along on my journey through this. And as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by, watching, commenting, liking, that kind of thing. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.